On Wednesday, October 22, 2008, the lifeless body of Anna Kaminsky Miller was discovered in a wooded area just outside of her hometown of Providence, Rhode Island. Anna, 28, was a well-known and beloved elementary school teacher who had been reported missing a day earlier. Her husband Tim, a football coach at a local high school, had been the first to report her disappearance, his anxiety palpable as he spoke with police. And now his worst fears were confirmed with the discovery of Anna's body, plunging him into a nightmare. The investigation unfolded swiftly. Soon after she had been reported missing, Anna's car had been found in a nearby parking lot, unoccupied. Later, hikers who had been traveling along an area nature trail reported finding the body and immediately called 911. Arriving at the scene, officers found Anna Miller's body. She was seated on a log and slumped over. She almost seemed as if she was sleeping, except for the trickle of blood coming from her left temple. News of Anna's discovery spread quickly through Providence, plunging the community into sorrow and disbelief. Hope turned to despair for Anna's friends and family, who had clung to the belief that she would be found unharmed. Tim Miller, inconsolable in his grief, was shocked and speechless when news of the discovery of her body was relayed to him. Detective Leo Romano of the Providence Police Department was soon on the scene and began his investigation. By all appearances, it looked like a suicide. Romano observed that there was a bullet wound to the side of Anna's head, and she was found holding a .38 caliber revolver in her hand. However, he immediately noticed that something was not right. The bullet wound was on the left side of Anna's head, while she was found holding the gun in her right hand. The scene appeared to have been staged. Determined to unravel the truth, Romano ordered a thorough forensic examination of the scene and launched his investigation to identify potential witnesses and interview Anna's known associates. Soon, attention turned to three individuals intimately connected with Anna: her husband Tim Miller, Justin Amador, and Paul Cantwell. Each had complex relationships with Anna, prompting Detective Leo Romano, a seasoned investigator, to delve deeply into their lives and connections. As he pieced together Anna's story, it became evident that beneath the surface lay a complex web of secrets and betrayals involving love, deceit, and potentially murder. The Providence Police Department mobilized swiftly, with Detective Romano leading the charge. As the husband, Tim Miller was naturally the first person to be questioned. Romano also turned his attention to Justin Amador, a colleague of Anna's, and Paul Cantwell, a parent of one of Anna's students who was known to have worked closely with her as a member of the local Parent Teachers Association. Tim Miller, 30, had been married to Anna for only 3 years. Theirs had been a brief but passionate romance, and his account of their relationship painted a picture of a seemingly happy marriage, but suspicions lingered. Detective Romano next turned his attention towards Justin Amador. Amador, 26, was relatively new to the area, having come to Providence only in the last year. Like Anna, he had a degree in early elementary education and worked at the same school as Anna, where they had become good friends. When informed of Anna's death, he appeared genuinely shocked and distraught. His responses hinted at a deeper relationship with Anna than mere friendship, though he was vague in giving details. Paul Cantwell was also interviewed by Romano. Cantwell, 36, a dentist, was the married father of 3 who was known as a local community leader. He was actively engaged in a variety of community organizations ranging from the local food bank to the PTA. And although he readily welcomed the detective into his home, when questioned about his relationship with Anna and whereabouts for the last several days, he proved to be evasive, raising further suspicions. As the investigation unfolded, Detective Romano was faced with having more questions than answers. However, he remained resolute in his pursuit of justice for Anna. And as news of Anna's suspicious death made the rounds in Providence, the community's demand for answers intensified the pressure on him to solve the case, underscoring the high stakes involved in uncovering the truth behind Anna Kaminsky Miller's tragic demise. Romano's investigation into Anna Kaminsky Miller's death revealed a woman whose life was far more complex and secretive than anyone realized. Each interview with those connected to her added layers of complexity to the case, raising the stakes for Detective Leo Romano to uncover the truth behind Anna's tragic death. Anna Miller was born and raised in Providence, where her parents, Dominic and Monica Kaminsky, were established community members. Dominic ran a small computer repair business, while Monica worked as a beautician in her own hairdressing shop. From an early age, Anna, the eldest of their 3 children, exhibited a vibrant zest for life and a keen love for learning. She excelled academically and won a scholarship to Brown University in Providence, where she discovered her passion for teaching under the guidance of an inspiring English professor. Graduating with honors with a degree in early childhood education from Brown, Anna returned to Providence and quickly secured a teaching position at a local elementary school. Known for her unparalleled dedication to her students, she often stayed late to assist with after-school programs and tutored struggling students on weekends. Beyond her professional life, Anna had diverse interests including art, photography, and a love of the outdoors. Her weekends were typically spent outdoors, exploring nature. Described by friends as a free spirit, warm, engaging, and always up for adventure, Anna's life took a surprising turn when she met Tim Miller at a local school fundraiser. Tim, a physical education teacher and football coach at the local high school, quickly swept her off her feet with his quick wit and easy smile. Their whirlwind romance culminated in a swift engagement within a year. Their relationship was initially seen as ideal, a union forged seemingly in heaven. However, over time, Anna became bored and restless, feeling the constraints of married life and domesticity. Then, barely a year after she had been married, she met Justin Amador, a fellow teacher who was a newcomer to her school. What began as a platonic friendship soon evolved into a clandestine affair. The excitement of a secret affair seemed to energize Anna, and at about the same time as her relationship with Justin developed, she also entered into another affair. This time it was with a married man, Paul Cantwell, who was the father of one of her students, complicating matters further. Anna's entanglements with Justin and Paul remained hidden from Tim and only known to a select few friends, intensifying the complexities of her life. As Detective Romano delved deeper into Anna's background, he uncovered a woman torn between love, guilt, and a craving for connection and excitement. These conflicts ultimately led Anna down a perilous path that culminated in her tragic and untimely death. With Anna's body discovered and her secret life emerging, suspicion naturally turned to Tim Miller. Detective Romano scrutinized his alibi meticulously, searching for any inconsistencies that might implicate him in his wife's demise. Tim maintained he had been home the night Anna disappeared and was home alone all that evening and the following morning when he reported her missing. His statement was later corroborated by area home security footage. However, Romano remained cautious, aware that alibis could always be fabricated. The state of the Miller marriage became a focal point as financial records revealed their struggle with debt, potentially providing a motive for Tim. Moreover, life insurance policies on Anna added another layer of suspicion, although the amount was not excessive and was not taken out by Tim but was only a part of Anna's regular teacher benefits. Tim's demeanor during questioning also raised concerns. While he appeared genuinely grief-stricken, Romano noted moments of controlled composure that hinted at a deeper complexity. Another key point in the initial investigation came with the discovery of text messages exchanged between Tim and Anna in the days preceding her disappearance, shedding new light on their relationship and raising further questions about motive and intent. But as Romano continued to piece together Anna Kaminsky Miller's final days, the web of secrets surrounding her life only expanded. Hey, interested in more real-life murder mysteries? Be sure to like our content and subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories. Do you have any thoughts about this case or have a case of your own you'd like us to investigate? Leave us a comment. Until then, stay safe. The investigation into Anna Kaminsky Miller's death unfolded with escalating complexity as Detective Leo Romano uncovered a web of relationships and motives among key figures in Anna's life. Messages exchanged between Anna and her husband, Tim Miller, revealed mounting tension marked by Anna's dissatisfaction with their life together and Tim's frustrated responses, indicating a marriage strained under significant pressure. Romano's scrutiny also extended to Anna's interactions with Justin Amador and Paul Cantwell. Suspicious of their relationships with Anna, Tim vehemently denied knowledge of her affairs, but displayed palpable anger towards the men when questioned about them during the investigation. And yet, despite Tim emerging as a prime suspect due to potential motives such as financial gain, marital discord, and jealousy, Romano faced a lack of concrete evidence linking him directly to the crime, leaving the case against him circumstantial. Justin Amador and Paul Cantwell, both intimately involved with Anna, then came up next on Romano's radar. Justin had a complex relationship with Anna that evolved from friendship to romance, fraught with both joy and complications. He expressed genuine feelings for Anna but also admitted to feeling hurt and betrayed upon being informed of her involvement with Paul, although he vehemently denied any role in her death. He also claimed to have been home all night in his apartment during the time of Anna's disappearance, and a subsequent review of camera footage at and near his apartment appeared to confirm his alibi. In contrast, Paul Cantwell, a charismatic local community leader, was initially deemed an unlikely suspect. However, as the investigation proceeded, it revealed that Paul, a married man, had developed an intense and passionate yet tumultuous relationship with Anna, marred by jealousy and possessiveness. During questioning, Paul remained evasive, his answers tinged with bitterness and lingering resentment towards Anna for her inability to fully commit to him. He had also been unaware of her relationship with Justin and had displayed anger when informed of their affair. At the time of Anna's disappearance, Paul had claimed to have been some 3 hours away at a dental conference and supplied hotel receipts to verify his claim. Yet, Romano noted the stark contrast between Justin's genuinely expressed emotion and Paul's evasiveness, with both being driven by conflicting emotions of love and jealousy profoundly impacted by Anna's actions. As Romano delved deeper into Justin and Paul's backgrounds, further layers of Anna's complex life emerged. Both men were drawn to Anna's sense of adventure and passion for life, but had also experienced the darker sides of her nature, her secretiveness and emotional instability, suggesting that her death was not simply motivated by jealousy or revenge, but by a complex web of conflicting emotions and desires. The investigation was further complicated with the revelation from Anna's close friend from college, Beth Sander. Beth was one of the few people that Anna had confided in who knew about all of the complex relationships with the men in her life. According to Beth, in the days preceding her disappearance and death, Anna had confided to her about the challenges in her marriage and the turmoil caused by her relationships with Justin and Paul. Anna had been feeling increasingly trapped and overwhelmed by the dual pressures of maintaining her marriage and managing her affairs. She had mentioned to Beth plans of wanting to leave Providence in order to escape from her entangled relationships and make a fresh start. Another important piece of evidence to come to light was the discovery of Anna's hidden journal, found after a search of Anna and Tim's home. The journal provided detailed accounts of her relationships with Tim, Justin, and Paul, along with her fears and plans for the future. Anna wrote of feeling suffocated by Tim's control, exhilarated by her affair with Justin, and conflicted about her increasingly intense relationship with Paul and her growing inability to control the situation. And yet, while Romano's investigation had plenty of suspects, it turned up no new or concrete evidence directly implicating any of the three in Anna's murder. All seemed to have plausible alibis to account for their whereabouts during the time of Anna's disappearance. But then there was a sudden break in the case. Faced with a lack of movement on the case, Anna's family had refused to give up. As part of their own investigation into Anna's death, they ordered an independent medical examination of the autopsy results. The re-examination of the results from Anna's autopsy yielded crucial new evidence. The time of death was revised from early on the morning of Wednesday, October 22nd to some 6 hours earlier to around midnight on Tuesday, October 21st. And while Tim Miller's alibi still withstood scrutiny, this new time frame opened up a potential window of opportunity that had previously appeared to have been closed for both Justin and Paul. Armed with this pivotal new evidence, Romano believed he was nearing the truth, only for the investigation to take another surprising new turn. A security camera recording surfaced from a nearby strip mall parking lot, showing Anna meeting someone on the night she disappeared. Closer examination of the footage showed her getting into a car that resembled a car owned by one of the suspects, Paul Cantwell. This revelation introduced a new layer of complexity to the case, shifting the focus of Romano's investigation towards unraveling Paul's role and his potential motives in Anna's death. More importantly, the disclosure prompted Romano to re-examine the evidence with renewed focus. Detective Leo Romano's investigation into Anna Kaminsky Miller's tragic death took a dramatic turn with the emergence of newly discovered security camera footage showing Anna meeting Paul Cantwell earlier on the night of her disappearance. This, combined with a revised time of death for Anna, added a fresh new layer of complexity to Detective Leo Romano's pursuit of justice. Paul had initially denied any recent contact with Anna when brought in for questioning, providing an alibi that he had been out of town at a dental conference. However, the revised time of death from a re-examination of Anna's autopsy had weakened his alibi, and now, with the security footage in hand, Romano felt confident that he finally had his man. Paul was brought in again for questioning, and when confronted with the security footage, he eventually admitted to meeting Anna on the night she vanished. However, Paul claimed their meeting was to only plan their escape to run away together in order to start a new life away from prying eyes in Providence. Yet despite Paul's explanation, Romano remained cautious due to his past behavior and possessive feelings for Anna, compounded by jealousy over her other relationships. The final break in the case came when the gun found with Anna was traced back to a business associate of Paul's who reported his .38 caliber revolver missing in the weeks prior to Anna's disappearance. A receipt was also uncovered for .38 caliber ammunition, which was also traced back to Paul. Confronted with this evidence, Paul finally confessed to the murder. He stated that he had met with Anna in his car in the parking lot to give her an ultimatum: either leave her husband for him or end the affair. When Anna hesitated, they argued, and as the argument grew more and more heated, Paul pulled the gun and placed it at her head, threatening her if she did not agree to his proposal. Paul claimed that Anna then grabbed the gun, and as she did, it went off. He insisted that he had not wanted to harm her, and that it was all a tragic accident. Frantic, he had tried to cover up the accident by driving off and moving her body to the woods nearby. He had then positioned the body with the gun in her hand to make it appear as a suicide, not realizing his mistake in placing the gun in the wrong hand. Paul's revelation had finally uncovered the events surrounding Anna's secretive life, which resulted in her tragic death. His revelation also underscored the depth of his obsession and deceit that had ensnared Anna in her final days. With the overwhelming evidence against him, Paul Cantwell was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The resulting courtroom proceedings became a focal point of Providence's attention and were marked by emotional testimonies and the stark contrast between the prosecution's narrative of cover-up and deception versus the defense's portrayal of desperation and accidental death. On November 17, 2009, after a deliberation that weighed heavily on the extensive evidence presented, the jury came back after only 5 hours with a verdict of guilty. Paul Cantwell received a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Compounding the tragedy, on July 16, 2010, after he was found hanging in his cell, Paul died in prison after serving less than a year of his sentence. The conclusion of the trial brought a sense of peace and closure to Anna's family and to the community of Providence, but Anna Kaminsky Miller's story remains a poignant reminder of the enduring pursuit of truth and justice in the face of tragedy. Her legacy as a loving and devoted teacher, daughter, and friend still echoes throughout the community, though her tragic story underscores the complexities of human relationships and the consequences of hidden motives laid bare.